What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expivia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expivia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expiviausa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expivia Interaction Marketing Group and the Call Center Geek himself, Tom Laird.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast. We try to give you some actionable items to take back in your contact center, improve the overall quality, improve the agent experience, hopefully improve your customer experience as well. How's everybody doing? My name is Tom Laird. I'm the CEO here at Expivia Interaction Marketing. We're a 600-seat call center outsourcer located here in northwestern Pennsylvania. How's everybody doing? We got a lot going on. I think I got a cool episode for you guys here. I kind of Jedi mind tricked some of you into participating in it when maybe you didn't even know you were. So we're going to get into that. First, though, a couple I think cool announcements that maybe some of you guys will have some huge interest in. So we wrote and updated our book. So we now have Advice from a Call Center Geek 3.0. It is live on Amazon. You can buy the paperback for $14.99, or you can buy the Kindle version for $3.99. Or, as I record this, it is January 21st. You can wait until Monday, and Monday will be the 24th. From the 24th through the 27th, we are going to have the Kindle version for free on Amazon. So if you want to go and download the Kindle version for free, you can totally do that. If you say, Tom, I cannot afford the $14.99 for the paperback, but I really want one, then just shoot me a DM and we will. I'll shoot one out to you for totally free. I'm not in this to make money. In fact, Amazon gets most of the money anyway. It's just another way, I think, of getting really good content out, right? This is almost like a supervisor or management training manual that you can use in your contact center to give you ideas on culture, on hiring, on operations, on coaching, on QA, on technology. It's kind of hopefully a one-stop shop for a lot of different things. Initial feedback has been awesome. So again, check that out. It's available. The other thing is make sure you're joining our LinkedIn Call Center Tips and Tactics group. That thing is growing rapidly, probably about 5 to 10 members every single day. So very excited about that. And also, if you ever want to get a hold of me, if you ever have a question about your contact center, obviously you can always message me on LinkedIn or Twitter, but we have a SMS texting community where I will give you guys some exclusive content, but it's really being used for if you want to talk to me about any question that you may have. And all you need to do is let's text January, so I know it came from this episode, January, to 814-247-0366. It's an actual number that I own, right? I will see your text. If you have any questions, I will get back to you as quickly as I can, depending on how many people, but it's normally within a day or two. So I got all that going. Here's the other thing that kind of happened. The other day on LinkedIn, I posted a question to everyone. And sometimes when I post questions, I get like 2 responses, and then other times it kind of goes quote unquote viral, or at least viral for what I have seen from what I can do. And this one kind of went viral. And the question was, if you're a call center manager, you have a brand new call center supervisor on their first day with their first team of 15 to 16 experienced customer service associates, what do you tell that supervisor? What are the first things and tips that you give them, right? And I posted that and just said, go, and kind of left it wide open. And I want to give you my thoughts on what I would say. But the first thing is I want to go through some of these awesome awesome things that other people have said. And again, this is why I think I really would love to get you guys to engage more on the LinkedIn call center tips and tactics. I have a ton of experience. I love to tell you guys and try to help in any way I can, but there's so many of you that are even smarter than me that have more experience in certain areas, that have a certain niche and maybe a certain channel that can really help. And if we can kind of all pool our knowledge together, I think we can be a very strong community when it comes to any type of issues that come up when it comes to your call center, your contact center, and any of the operations. So let's start. I'm going to start, and I'm going to name some names here of these because I'm not here to embarrass anybody, but I don't think I am, because all these are awesome, right? And let's see. So first one, this is by Beth Mason. When people are told they are doing good work, they feel good about what they're doing and will want to keep doing it. It also creates trust, which makes the challenging conversations more effective. I think there's a theme here that you're going to kind of hear, and it's building trust with your associates, whether that is showing them that you are looking out for them, whether it's maybe spending some phone time. But you can't just kind of walk into a situation and think you're the quote unquote boss. Right? I mean, I made that huge mistake. I did a whole episode on that probably about maybe a year ago. Just when I was, 20, 22 and kind of started to take over team, what an initial disaster it was until I really learned. Tammy Teixeira says, understand it's now your job to help them grow professionally and personally. What do they want to do and why? What skills do they want to learn to get there? How do they master this role so that they can move on to what's next to what they want? And I think that that's really awesome, right? So understanding that it's not about you, it's about your team, and understand what makes them tick and what can help them grow, right? Grow to not only be a better call center associate, but grow to maybe they want your job, right? Or to be another supervisor type role. Maybe they want a manager role. Maybe they want to work in a different department. How do you help them get to that area? I think that's a really, really important thing and something that really can help a brand new call center supervisor. Okay, I really like this one. This is from Michelle Carlson. Get to know your team. Set up regular one-on-ones with them. Invest in their skill development and take an active role in helping them. Recognize their achievements and learn how each of your team members wants to be uniquely rewarded for a job well done. Follow the data to see unique strengths of your team. Right? And again, she didn't say there reprimand. She didn't say yell at them. She didn't say scold them. Right? And I think that a main theme here is if you do buy into your team, if they really know that you're helping them, you don't have to do that, right? You don't have to get to the point where they're going to disrespect you, because there's a respect level that gets built back and forth. And I think that's a really, cool thing. And understand, as a call center manager, we should be building this in with our supervisors, right? The regular one-on-ones, like, are they things that you have in your contact center, or is it just maybe a supervisor does that only with her team? Things like that need to be built out, and it really helps the supervisors build that trust with their associates. So thank you, Michelle. Chad Minton says, hey, congrats on your promotion. You may be elated to be off the phones, but now the work begins with coaching and development of every single employee you represent. Your time and effort in their success, not yours. Your performance is based on how you can create opportunities for others. And that's that kind of servitude leadership, right? Understanding that it's really not about you, and how you are going to be judged is on the success of your team, right? And that's definitely a theme that we're kind of seeing here. Barbara Field Wayne, who I have a special place in my heart for, was a client of ours, and then she moved to another organization. But she says employees listen to managers, but they follow leaders. Be a servant leader. And I love that, right? I mean, that should almost be a sign up on the wall, right? And that's the whole thing about, the difference between a leader and a boss, right? Be the leader, be the person that can get on the phone with them when things are going south and you have 32 calls in the queue. Handle some calls that maybe a new rep is just really struggling with, right? Understand that you're there to help them. You're not there to tell them what to do. And I think that's the big thing that I had to learn as well. But it's huge. Sully Sullivan, love this, right to the point. Listen more than you talk, right? And that's going to help build a lot of trust again early on. Aramis Graham, What I'd probably say is stay focused on being the leader you wish that you had, right? We've all, and I love that too. We've all had terrible bosses, leaders, managers, right? And, think about the things that they did or the things that you didn't like. And I don't want to say do the opposite, but just think about that and understand in your management style what you don't want to do. Don't fall into that trap. Kind of look at yourself in the mirror, and I think that's something that is a once a year kind of at least reflection thing to see. Are you becoming a jerk? Right? I have to do that every once in a while too. I'm pretty laid back, but certain things still get under my skin, right? And I'm trying to learn I got to let some of that stuff go as well. So that's something that I think is kind of important too. All right, Rob Gordon says, data is important, but look at the data as a whole. I was always the agent with the highest QA score and the best CSAT scores, but was always chastised because my HT was a minute or two higher than expected. Leadership failed to see that by spending an extra minute or two on calls, I was able to build rapport with customers, fully resolve issues, and reach for first call resolution. Rob, I think that this is really good. And what this goes to show is the culture of contact centers and organizations, right? Rob has definitely a customer first mentality, and I think that is amazing, right? And sometimes it doesn't fit with what the management thinks is the best KPI. And Rob, I think you're right? So understand when you are the supervisor or the manager, right? A lot of times, as a middle manager, you're being told what to do, right? You're being told that your reps need to hit this number. So I kind of see what you're saying, Rob, but I also kind of see where a supervisor could be kind of held over the fire for that. But I think to Rob's point here too is if that supervisor can kind of plead the case for Rob, because right, Rob's on the phone, probably can't say too much to the call center manager, or it might fall on deaf ears. But that supervisor, if they go out of their way to kind of maybe educate management to see, look at what he's doing, look how awesome our customers are being serviced, that can make a big difference, and that can build some trust too. So again, thank you, Rob. All right, and then Mark Carey, who posts a lot of just really, really good stuff, especially on leadership. If you're not following him, and it's spelled Carriere, right? So if Mark, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize. But he had some really good stuff here, and we'll take a second here. So he said, my number one tip would be to ensure that they acquire and apply all the basic skills and associated tools needed to effectively manage their team. And he has kind of 8 tips or 8 basic skills, right? Understanding their role and responsibilities, right? And you as a call center manager needs to empower and help them with that. Effectively managing their time, to make time to coach or train, right? How many times have you seen that in your contact center where, hey guys, how many QA forms, how many calls did you score? Oh, we couldn't score any today. We were just slammed, right? And that's kind of unacceptable. I don't allow that either. I think that's a really good point. That might even be a whole secondary podcast on just talking about that. Number 3, creating a coachable call structure, right? I agree. Call monitoring and scoring, effective and nurturing feedback, effective coaching and training processes, conducting skill audits and coaching plans, and getting the buy-in from team members. So this is a little bit more, the structured of what you need. We've seen some kind of, I don't know, say theoretical, like leadership quotes and things that we need to kind of put as our culture of how we're kind of leading our team. But Mark's kind of going deeper here and kind of developing the plan for what a new supervisor actually needs, right? And some of the tools that they need to utilize to make sure that they're hitting the KPIs and they're hitting the things that their team needs. So again, Mark, thanks. I appreciate it. I love your content. You guys, you do a really great job. Jeremy Ward says, get on the phones with your new team. Show them that you're willing and able to do what they do. Totally agree with that, right? That's one of the main things that you can earn respect with, and one of the main ways that you can lose respect as well, right? When you shy away or say, I'm not doing that, that's not my deal, that's not my job, I worked already, I'm off the phones, right? You instantly lose respect of your team because you're kind of undermining what they do, right? I think that's a really important thing in the call center environment. All right, a couple more. Thomas Rivas, lead by example. The biggest mistake new supervisors make is expecting their staff to trust and respect them without showing you invested in their success and careers. right? We've kind of talked about that. I that's a theme, and I totally agree. This one's really good. This is from Karen Dowling, right? And this kind of goes, when I do my podcast, or what we do in our call center, right, of greeting in the morning, understanding, kind of taking the temperature of the room. And she's kind of taking that in the macro here. And she says, it's all about your people. Invest time early on to get to know them. What motivates them? What are their strengths? What do they want to learn? What are their challenges? And then she says, then get to know them, right? In caps, right? So you want to get to know them, but now you really want to get to know them. Tee off from what they share with you. Family, pets, sports, plants, whatever. These are valuable nuggets of information to help you stay connected and show that you care. This is a very motivating force, right? And it's human nature, right? You're trying to build a bond. And if you show that you actually care about even somebody outside of work, you don't need to be their best friend. You don't need to go to happy hour with them, but understand when they come to work and you can say, hey, how's your son doing? I heard he was sick, the last 2 days. I know you were out. Is he okay? Those little things go a huge way in building that respect. So again, Karen, I agree with you. Thank you so much. This is from Sergio Castillo. What got you here won't be enough to make you successful here. Your success is based on each individual on your team's success. Find out why your team comes to work every day and make it your mission to help them achieve their goals. Don't get too busy or high or mighty for your team. Set clear expectations, and for goodness sake, follow through on your commitments. I think the last one is true. Right, following through on commitments, following through even on, I get really irritated here at Expivia when, let's say, we do a motivation, and I'm sure this has happened in your call center too. Like maybe you're having a lower day with your conversion or your handle time. So you say, hey, let's do a quick motivation, and here's a $25 Amazon gift card. We'll shoot it out to you tomorrow, and reps kind of bust their tail maybe for the last hour or two. They get their handle time or their conversion to a level, and then it takes like 3 weeks, right, for them to get their Amazon gift card, right, which totally ruins the whole thing. And it makes the supervisor not as powerful, right, because they're like going to be like, well, I can't use that again, right, because I didn't live up to my commitment of making sure that this thing got out tomorrow. Now, it wasn't her fault because it's probably somebody in, accounts payable that needs to send that thing out. But, things like that, if you're going to say something, you got to really, kind of stick to it. All right. And then Jeff Brown says, take the time to understand the full situation before speaking or taking action. I think that's a huge thing. It's one sentence, but it's a really important thing. So many times as managers, we jump to conclusions, right? We think that we have to make a decision to seem like we're strong instead of taking all of the information and kind of figuring things out and making the proper decision. That could be if a rep makes a mistake that happens a lot, right? Like for us, a client will be like, that rep made a huge mistake, but then when you actually listen to the call, you understand why they did it, the context of it, and 9 times out of 10, it's, oh, I gotcha. Makes sense, right? So don't jump to conclusions. Don't go down someone's throat unless you absolutely understand what the heck's going on. Interesting episode. I hope that gets you kind of thinking. There's a lot of different thoughts, right? And it's interesting how people's minds work. Some people are focused on kind of the leadership aspect. Some are actually doing the plan. Some are a little bit more firm, right? And really wanting you to understand your role and where you stand. So it's kind of interesting to kind of talk and kind of hear the personalities of a lot of you guys that are out there. So again, I appreciate you taking the time to humor me on my LinkedIn post. Now your names will be forever in the advice from a call center geek lore, whatever that means. I really appreciate all of you guys again taking the time. Check out the book. If you need a free one, DM me. I'll shoot it to you. Again, if you want the Kindle for free, wait till Monday the 24th, and you got through like the 28th to do that. But if you want the paperback, got to pay for it. It's like $14. Thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. I hope we're adding value. Talk to you guys next week.